Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1541, trying to inspire you to have a great day with morsels of a thought of wisdom. As the fortune cookie said, knowing the right thing to do is wisdom. Doing it is called virtue. I want to bring more virtue into the world. We need that. So, morsels of a thought. One time every day, you come here and you listen, learn, love, and you, by Susie Albert Miller, listen, learn, love, how to dramatically improve your relationships in 30 days or less. And uh, it is absolutely possible to get unstuck in your relationships. This is a cool book. I'm on page 106 right now. And I'm going to start to read from the second paragraph. Well, first, actually, but anyway, most of our relationships fall along a spectrum of authenticity, intimacy, and connection. We have a myriad of relationships with different purposes, levels of involvement, and commitment. This is totally normal. We have spouses, kids, siblings, parents, friends, family, colleagues, partners, clients, and customers, to name a few categories. And in most of these categories, we have multiple relationships with different levels of connection. Some are going well, some are going great, some are tension filled, difficult, or mediocre. No matter what, they all could get better. Regardless of where they fall on the spectrum, we can improve our personal and professional relationships using listen, learn, love. Quick results and long lasting changes. Warning number one. Long-term and regular use of listen, learn, love will result in authentic and rewarding relationships. Quick results come when you begin to use these skills in your relationships. Getting results in 30 days or less is a really big promise. It is one I am confident to make because I have seen fast results in my own life and in the life of my clients. Susie Albert Miller. She's great. Go on her Facebook and catch her. You can friend her if you can. For some, their relationships began to improve in a few weeks, and some even in a day. Because once you start using these skills to and choose to and choose to and choose to listen, learn them, or love well, you are going to see a shift. People in your life will feel heard, seen, known, and cared for. And that always leads to better relationships. Listening will always make a dramatic difference in your relationships. Most of us can recall times we've left conversations feeling unheard and misunderstood. When we take the time to listen to the people who matter most, they feel connected and important. One of my clients used the tip pause and pay attention while working with a challenging colleague as they struggled to formulate a growth strategy for their organization. They had differing views on the timeline and rollout plans, and that consistently yielded tension and stalled their progress. When my client chose to listen, to pause and pay attention, he heard some additional nuances that informed him of his colleague's position. Understanding these nuances enabled him to make appropriate adjustments since he had a better understanding of where his colleague was coming from. This resulted in a better working relationship for this project and those they would tackle in the future. So you're really making progress with the future, you see, because when the relationships become positive, this is yin yang talking, when the relationships become positive, there's always a chance for things to go right. Susie Albert Miller. As you pause to really listen in conversations with your spouse, family members, friends, or colleagues, and that will give them an opportunity to let down their guard. Oh, I skipped a whole line. No wonder it didn't make any sense. Did you hear that too? As you pause to really listen in conversations with your spouse, family members, friends, or colleagues, hopefully they will be aware of your increased engagement, and that will give them an opportunity to let down their guard. No wonder it didn't make any sense when I don't usually do this. This is the first time I have ever skipped a line while reading because my glasses were fuzzy. Actually, let me just put the glasses right over here so I can have one focus because I'm looking there and I'm looking there. And, you know, I like looking at you guys. And when, sorry, Susie Albert Miller, when they're able to share more of their thoughts after they've let down their guard and feelings, it gives you the opportunity to respond differently with more understanding. In the same way, learn them improves relationships quickly because people respond to feeling seen and known. Most of us are longing for a deeper connection in one or more of our relationships. Learning them, that's learning the people, learning the people, learning the people, learning the people. Learning them communicates, you matter to me, quote, end quote. Recently, I heard from a client whose husband had learned her love language, gifts, as a result of a conversation they had about learn them. He brought her a chocolate treat along with the regular groceries she asked him to pick up. He thought about her in the midst of the shopping trip and took action. This deposit in her love bank made her feel cared about and came as a delightful surprise at the end of a long day. But remember, what makes you loved and cared for isn't necessarily what makes them feel loved and cared for. That's why learning them is so powerful as it allows you to as it allows you to connect in a way that makes sense to them. Love well is a game changer when it comes to quick improvements and dramatic results because it builds trust. We are often surprised when another person sacrifices on our behalf, as far too often selfish interests can rule the day can rule the day. With adult children, we are always juggling schedules, work commitments, and other family obligations when we try to plan a family vacation or even a whole family chat video. One season, it was particularly difficult as our son was living in the Middle East and our time zone differences ranged from 7 to 10 hours behind his time zone. A great example of love well was his willingness to get on a family call in the middle of the night in his time zone because it worked best for his sister's schedule as she juggled a new baby and her job. Being flexible and adjusting his schedule to do what was best for his sister was a way to love her well. While these changes didn't solve all the issues, every movement we make on behalf of the other person improves relationships. Sometimes we don't need to fix everything to see dramatic improvements. Interesting. Yes, you can do one reset and it'll make the entire structure stand still. You see? It can happen. Here's another way to think of it. Relationship changes are a bit like an hourglass sand timer. Sometimes the grains get stuck in the middle. Clogged, static, with no movement, it ceases to be effective as a sand timer. But give it a little shake. The pieces begin to get unstuck, quote, end quote, and shift. Suddenly, whoosh, a whole bunch of grains flow through to the other side. Change can happen in the same way. Our relationships are similar. A few shifts can yield rapid and significant improvement. Long term results come from using these skills over and over again, not giving up when it gets hard, and employing them on a regular basis. Learning and practicing listen, learn, love is the first step to creating better relationships. Going deeper and mastering these skills requires a longer look specifically tailored to different relationships. This book offers a broad brush stroke of these skills and how using them can improve your relationships. It is meant to give you results and hope. As empty nesters, John and I are enjoying this time of life and the benefits of learning and practicing these fundamental skills over the course of our marriage. Do we always get it right? Heck no. Being married to a serial entrepreneur is challenging. So is being married to him. Oh, so is being married to him. For him, however, after years of practice, we return to these skills more quickly than we did in our younger years when we blew it and made a mess of things. A lot. Listen, learn, love, practiced repeatedly, even with missteps and moments of utter selfishness, will yield lasting results if you don't give up. Our marriage wasn't always wonderful or even easy. Some years it was incredibly hard, and a few times I wasn't sure we would make it. We had some difficult seasons and have endured some serious trials and life altering events which statistically should have destroyed our marriage. But we are stubborn, and our faith carried us through the toughest times and darkest days. Today, we are thriving, and our relationship is rich and rewarding. It was worth the hard work of learning and practicing these three essential skills over and over again. As we have gotten older and wiser, we remember the crucial question: is being right more important than this relationship? Is being right more important than this relationship? Interesting. Mary breathes a sigh. I share this not to brag, but to give you hope, says Susie Albert Miller. These skills work. If you are using these skills, it is not going to take a long time to see improvements. You just have to begin. I have seen this with countless clients as well as in my own life. Practicing and using listen, learn, love will dramatically improve your relationships quickly. You will see improvements in the short term as well as build long term results for strong, rich, and rewarding relationships. So, no matter what condition your relationships are in, don't give up until you give these skills a try. You can make a difference in every relationship if you are willing to be intentional and make an effort. Life is good when our relationships are thriving. Love, family, friends, and career are all in sync. Listen, learn, love at work. At work. A few thoughts about listen, learn, love at work. If your personal relationships were easier, more comfortable, and fulfilling, would you be less stressed, more patient, and enjoyable? And would that shift have a positive impact on your effectiveness at work? All combined, can you see how better personal and professional relationships would enhance your quality of life? Using these skills in your professional relationships will bring success because business is ultimately about relationships with people. Growing in our skills to build stronger professional relationships is a win-win. Taking the time to learn and implement these skills will help improve your relationships with your colleagues and customers. Here's an example. Josh was a successful entrepreneur, but he struggled to build a cohesive support team and didn't understand why he couldn't keep a virtual assistant long term. As we looked at the way he engaged in conversations. We discovered that he needed to use these skills to better communicate his expectations as well as show appreciation for efforts of his team and acknowledge a job well done. After 2 weeks of practicing listen, learn, love, his team noticed a difference. Now he enjoys longevity and loyalty with his support team, which resulted in lower stress levels and increased profitability. That was a great example. Cat hair. It's sitting on my nose and crazy making. Susie Albert Miller. Relationships are the currency of today and essential for success in life and in business. That's like cultural currency. Have you ever heard of cultural currency? I learned about cultural currency at the university at Berkeley, and it is a form of knowledge, and cultural currency is where you have the knowledge and the culture that helps other people. Because without it, the lack of it impedes your progress in any kind of relationship. Like, you have to be with somebody, you have to be on the same page with somebody. That's what Yin Yang is saying about this, getting this impression from here. Okay, Susie Albert Miller says, relationships are the currency of today and essential for success in life and business. When our personal relationships are going well, we have energy to devote to our entrepreneurial endeavors and professional relationships without being stressed about personal issues. People who develop professional People who develop positive professional relationships enjoy greater success through faster promotions, increased sales, and more clients because we are drawn to people who make us feel good. We are not moved by statistics, facts, or figures. We are moved by emotions. We do, motion, moving. We're moved by emotions. We do business with people we know, like, and trust. These three simple, elegant, and effective skills will equip you to develop strong and thriving relationships, thereby increasing your effectiveness and profitability. When studying successful and long lasting business partnerships like Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, Bill Gates and Paul Allen, Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard, I discovered that not only did they share similar passions and interests, but in every case, they were also friends. Their business partnerships were built on a solid relationship that lasted through the years. Time and again, I have seen how our personal and professional relationships intertwine, overlap, and impact each other. John Maxwell says, it's a quote, succeed at home and all other relationships become easier. Interesting. I have to say, I give you an example of yesterday. I was packing for my trip to San Diego this coming Monday, and my friend helped me pack, and I was so happy to get everything packed that I gave her a big hug. Well, one of my neighbors has asked me a few times, is this a friend or is this a worker? Is this so? The way she asked was, is this a friend or is this a worker? You know? So, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say that she considered workers beneath her. And when I introduced Lucy as a friend, she thought it was a friend, but Lucy was wearing an apron and following me around, and we were doing the laundry and everything together. And we were walking past her one time, and this girl, she asks again. She goes, "Is this your friend, or is this a worker?" She's a worker, isn't she? Isn't she a worker? Her question was basically saying to me out loud, not without saying it. I mean, her question was saying to me without saying it out loud that I should consider Lucy to be beneath me. But Lucy's getting paid to do something for me. She is my worker, but I've known her before as a friend, and I'm still a friend to her. When we packed, I was saying to her, I am so glad you told me this. I'm so glad you told me that. Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me of and I'm so glad, you know? And she's like, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then we go and give a hug when we finally set aside all the things that I needed to pack for the trip. And she had to leave, so it was her turn to leave and to go to do something else that was busy in her life. And so the professional, and my point is that I can see even just from reading this example how it affects myself in my life, because my friend is also my professional worker. So we've got a relationship that's got a dual quality to it. All right, back to the author. Relationship realities. Thriving and satisfying relationships simply make life better. However, in reality, for many of us, our relationships are mediocre, tense, or just plain boring. We muddle through. On the worst days, we have felt the sting of a relationship in jeopardy, are devastated by the pain of one that is lost, or discouraged and weary from the burden of a tension filled relationship. On the best days, we have glimpses of connection with the soulmate we longed for, the teen who is happy, the friend who just gets us, quote unquote, gets us. And we experience a bond that gives us hope for the future of our relationship. Or perhaps our spirits soar with excitement about new business growth. In these moments, we experience the connection we are hardwired for and enjoy the wonder of life giving relationships. We have hope. A smile lights up our face after a delightful and meaningful conversation with our spouse. Feelings of satisfaction and affirmation stem from words of appreciation and a hug from our college aged kid. We enjoy it. Who wouldn't like that? We enjoy a deep sense of belonging with good friends who really know and enjoy us. There is a bounce in our step because a client finally pulled the trigger and signed the contract due to the relationship we invested in and developed over time. There are times when life is good. That's why we risk, try, and invest in relationships. We long to know and to be known. We are eternal optimists, hoping this time our risk will be rewarded. So, at this moment, we shall pause and read next week. I will be next Friday. I would actually be in San Diego doing this broadcast from still California, but from San Diego instead. And so I will come back to this over there. Today was 1541. I say good day and thank you for coming, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I inspire you to have a great day when I'm at my best. And I hope that you have a great day. Okay? And if it's the middle of the night for you, I hope you have had a great day and that you're prepared for tomorrow. Okay? The old congressman who wanted to make things right, old Kinderhook. Bye.